it's been billed as the biggest game in the state today. 14-0 St. John's is ranked #1 in D7, Spencerville #1 in D6. But coming off a shocking first loss of the season last night, they're 14-1. The story of the day: how will they respond? It's another sold-out crowd at the Vatican for the 4th time in the last 6 games. Blue Jays lead the all-time series 28-11. They've won 7 of the last 10 against the Bearcats. And in the opening quarter, Cam Elwer wastes no time. The Jays junior jabs right twice, rises, fires, and connects from beyond the arc. Elwer had 12 points in just the first quarter. Now to the second, Spencerville down 4. Will Sensabaugh stops on a dime, connects from mid-range. The sophomore led Spencerville with 24 points. In the meantime, 3 more for the Bearcats, courtesy of freshman Jude Steeman. The Bearcats silence last night's noise, a 32-31 halftime lead. Now in the third, Elwer straight to the cup. The up and under finish, that bucket ties things at 42 apiece. However, back on the other end, Carter Orr rises up and throws his hammer down. Well, we're still in the third, in the late stages of it. DSJ down 5, and Jackson Weekert gets that to fall to make it 50-47. But here's where things get dicey. Jays down 63-61 in the fourth, under a minute to play. Elwer's game-tying shot off the rim. Spencerville takes over. St. John's tries to foul, but Owen Sensabaugh slams the door on the Blue Jays. Undefeated no longer. Bearcats win an instant classic, 65-61. Here's Will Sensabaugh.
Have fun and play together. That was about it. And I think that's exactly what we did. We swung it around pretty good. We made our shots. That's pretty much it. Really, I just wanted to come out here after the loss last night. No one on the team shot it great, so Dad just told us before the game, forget about it. Come shoot with confidence, and that's what we all did tonight. It was awesome.
Other notable scores this evening: Lima Senior goes to 4 overtimes in Michigan. They beat Grand Rapids Northview 91-80. 5-10 Ottawa Glandorf played the #2 team in the state. They lost by just 4 points.
And 4 teams well above 500 tonight. Marion Local beats Jackson Center 52-47, and Miller City 59-46 over Wayne Trace. Dominance by the first place team in the PCL.
And it's worth taking a closer look at the Putnam County League tonight, because there's 2 PCL games that could prove decisive in the title race. Kalida is the last team unbeaten in the league standings, and although Lipsick enters in 7th, these teams are just a half game apart in overall record. Well, the Wildcats look to dispel any doubts early. Jackson Schrader, mid-range J. Kalida gets an 8-1 head start. But look out for Viking junior Brevin Brandt splashing the 3, and it's just a 2-point deficit after 1. The home team with a big answer. Nobody guarding 11. Call that the Logan Kerner corner. A big swing with the 11-1 scoring run. But it's raining threes at Quarter Cracks Court. Lipsick's Jace Breck hit his second triple of the quarter, trailing 23-16, and that's just too big of a hole. How about the big man triple? Jacob Siebenek can get it done from long range too. Kalida wins 53-47 to remain perfect in PCL play. So the Wildcat win means Columbus Grove is playing to force a second-place tie. Bulldogs, of course, coming off that Spencerville win. Ottaville coming off their second PCL loss, so now they're just hoping to play spoiler. They start right on cue. Garrett Trentman reads Landon Horseman, pump fakes, and Horseman takes it for 2. Big Green, big lead, 24-12. And as we go to the second quarter, Grove still down a dozen, but Trent Barraza goes to work, driving the lane, off the window. CG pulls within 6, but watch this. Ashton Miller has the time and space to wipe his hand before canning the long 3. Ice cold from the junior, 31-22. But don't count out the dogs. Brady Basinger catching fire. CG makes it a 4-point game after 3. They had it tied late, but Ottaville survives 44-42. And so here's where we stand now. With the loss for Columbus Grove, they're now one of 3 teams with 2 losses. In fact, the last 2-loss team to win a PCL title was 1982. So that leaves Miller City, who's 1 game back. They were not in league play tonight, but still got a win. And you've got Kalida, the only team still unbeaten, but they haven't played Miller City yet. So effectively, we got 2 teams left in the race, and they play each other 2 weeks from now on Friday, February 7th. Stretch of the girls hoops regular season. That means title clinching scenarios are emerging across our conferences. We had another today down in the Shelby County League. The top 2 teams meet again. Fort Loramie can secure their 8th straight league title with a win over second place Anna. The Redskins beat the Rockets in the earlier meeting 39-28. Loramie senior Avery Brandowy gets things started out the gate to give the Redskins the early edge, and then it's Brandowy again. She's patient, she uses the screen, and connects on the long 2-pointer. Fort Loramie now up by 3. Later on, the home team now going on a little bit of a run. Liz Stouter converts at the basket off the inside feed from Mackenzie Mumma. But don't hold your breath. Ensuing moments after the made field goal, Anna forces the turnover. Back the other way comes McKenna Pettis. She'll lay it through the contact just like that. It's back-to-back scores from Anna. Now back to work for Fort Loramie. Victoria Mesher on the block. One dribble across the lane and puts it through. Fort Loramie goes on to win 45-30. They're an 8-time repeat Shelby County League champion and hand Anna their first home loss of the season. Also today, wrestling at the 22nd annual Thunderbird Invitational. 38 schools from around the state, including 14 locally. Let's start with Allen East. Another good day for the Mustangs. Senior Jacob Pink scoring the takedown in the 165. He'd go on to finish 4th. Another consolation semifinal. Bluffton's Brandon Cross is in overtime. He takes control for the win, finishing 4th in the 120. For Spencerville, how about the freshman? Keaton Jacobs pinned his man in the 150 class, and the freshman finished as tournament runner-up. Local on local juniors in the 138. Antoine Adams of LCC outlasts Edward Kesson from St. John's. Adams finished 2nd, Kesson in 3rd. But let's go to the championship round because Thunderbird sophomore Jordan Neal is in the 144 finals. He earns a 14-0 major decision on his way to first place. And today's tournament champion was the Delta Panthers, but here are the top scoring local teams. Allen East, Bluffton, and LCC each had 3 wrestlers on the podium today. The Mustangs finished 6th, the Pirates in 9th, the T-Birds 11th. Other top performers include Coldwater, Spencerville, and Columbus Grove. And we swung by the Western Buckeye League swim and dive championships today. Let's get a taste of the finals, picking up with the 100-meter butterfly. There's Katie Bauer from Wapakoneta, the event champion for the girls. And for the boys, Thomas Coe crosses the line first with a time of 54.32. More from the tribe in the 100 free. Shawnee sophomore CC Schaff wins the final heat. And the boys 100 free champion is Salina's Jackson Newcomb, who finished in 47.48 seconds. To the 500-meter race, Shawnee's Morgan Schimler shaved over 14 seconds off her winning time today. And the Ottawa Glandorf boys have an event champion in sophomore Parker McGraw. Of course, many other individual champs today, but we go to the team standings. The OG girls win their 7th straight WBL championship. St. Mary's back-to-back runners-up. Shawnee jumps into 3rd place this year. And for the boys, the same teams in the top 3, but the order here, Shawnee back-to-back WBL champs, OG the runners-up, and St. Mary's in 3rd.